What up, chat? Welcome back to another live from the Unk Podcast. We have a serious topic to talk about today: mental health. Unfortunately, this country is experiencing a decline in mental health. It keeps getting worse decade after decade after decade. I was born in the early 1980s. It was a completely different world back then. And slowly, people became more and more self absorbed, more and more needy, and less able to fulfill those needs. Been a lot of factors: drugs, education system, social media. To me, I think social media might be the biggest culprit. Ever since the advent of social media, people are plugged in now to everybody all over the world. You're no longer in competition with your next door neighbors or the people at your school. It's with everybody in the entire world. And people live life on filter mode. Every time you see a picture of somebody, it's edited, filtered. Now you got AI editing the pictures for people. So it gets ridiculous. Like right there, even YouTube. You see this? Look, watch. There's something called retouch. I don't know if this is a YouTube thing or if it's my phone, but watch when I hit this button. There we go. You see how it like smooths out my wrinkles and my skin tone and everything? And then now this is the real. Everything is fake. Everything's fake. And people are in competition. That's the worst part. Is that people are in competition with these fake things. So you have girls out there, very, very attractive, think they're ugly because they're comparing themselves to images that they see in magazines that are not even real. And not even magazines anymore. It's on Instagram. People don't look at magazines. People scroll. People swipe. And now, speaking of swiping, nobody meets in public anymore. Everybody meets on dating apps, right? So now, so true, facts, man. So now you got people on these dating apps with access to thousands of other profiles that they can choose from. So nothing's ever good enough. The more options you're given in anything, the harder it is for you to make a decision. When you go to the store and there's two kinds of bread you can buy, you're gonna pick one of them, whichever one you like better, and you're gonna go. But when there's 35 different kinds, the selection destroys your will to choose. Instant gratification is disease. Yup. Yup. And I'm guilty myself. I held off for so long from buying from Amazon. And now I'll only buy shit from them if I can get it delivered same day. It's insane. But so now these dating apps, you got these people on there with thousands of choices, and they can never pick because they keep thinking, all right, you know what I mean? I could probably do better than this one. I could probably do better than this one, and they're stuck forever in the loop. And the dating apps, they make money keeping you on there. So they don't want you to find happiness. They want you to continue having to use their app. Miss Halima, brother, what is your favorite food? Gaza. Oh, What just happened? Uh-oh. Miss Halima, my favorite food. My favorite food would have to be my grandmother's pot roast with mashed potatoes. But I have an open mind. If you wanted to cook something for me, you might have to reconsider. You know what? I have to find an address for people to send me food. I already have a place to give donations and shit like that, but I don't have a place for people to send food to. But then I would have to find a way to make sure it's not poison. I'll figure something out, but I'm too fat fuck. I like food. Pokes hella hot. Pokes hella hot in the building. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for reminding me to beg for likes. You turn into a conehead. Remember the movie Coneheads? True white boy pot roast. Nah, man, you don't know this pot roast. I didn't say pot roast. I said my grandmother's pot roast. When I make my grandmother's pot roast for people, they can't eat pot roast anymore. Bro, this shit is cooked for like 4 hours, bro, and it comes out so tender. And the gravy. So you put a can of cream of mushroom soup on top of that shit, and onions, the dried onion, the onion soup mix, and it mixes, with the fat, and it makes this slamming gravy. Oh, fuck, man. You have no idea. Uh, Sometimes I feel like I gotta get away. Oh, you didn't know I knew it was a song. You gotta get away. Slow and low in the cooking. Nah, in the oven, fam. You put it, so you take the pot roast, right? And then you fucking put flour on it and you brown it in the pot with I put like a whole stick of butter, right? And brown it in a pot. And then you put it in one of them glass casserole dishes. And what's it called? Um so you put the cream of mushroom gravy on top of it, and you put the fucking well, first I put the onions first, and then I put the cream of mushroom on top of the onions so it's just soak in and shit. And then you cook it for 3.5 hours on 350. Oh, oxtail one of these days. Yo, oxtail is fire. And not for nothing, that's kind of what my fucking gravy, what my that gravy tastes like. The pot roast gravy when it's done. Oh shit, Cam spam is 6'7" in the chat. That's crazy. I'm screenshotting that. Cam talking about 6'7". Bro, I cook some oxtail. Forget about it. Oh, I bet. Fat motherfucker, you fat fucks, man. You know how to cook. You don't get that fat no way, by accident. Oh shit. I know I was fucking with you. You don't know how I be doing the chat, bro. I play stupid and I read shit. Like it's not just pauses. Anything that I can read the wrong way, I go for it. I help myself. Oh, motherfucker telling me like I don't remember. Motherfucker, I know you since 99, 2000. Oh shit. Oh man, yo, them e-bikes, man. I gotta get me a fucking e-bike. That's what I need to get. I want the Suron though. But those things, see, that's the problem. The e-bikes, man, they cost just as much as a real motorcycle. Yeah, now you good. By the way, chat, we're not changing the subject. We're still gonna get onto our topic of mental health, the epidemic that we have in this country, and what seems to be the cause. But it'd be much better in debate form. So, in 10 minutes, Cam is going to join us, and we're gonna have an episode on live. We got to get Hella Puff back on here too. It's always interesting when Cam and Hella Puff are on live together. I need breaks from my fucking bike. I didn't realize they were that bad. I just watched a dope ass documentary on thoughts into things. On thoughts into things. Elaborate, poor favor. Please, please, pretty please. I just watched a dope ass documentary on thoughts into things. I can't figure that one out. Well, I'm about to call you Oxtail. 'Cause I was reading that fucking Oxtail comment. And I'm not even hungry right now. Shit. The power of positive and negative thoughts. And got you. I was reading too far into that. I was trying to think of what we were just talking about that related to that. Never mind. Poke hella hot. Have you rolled up yet? Just out of curiosity. Yeah. Send me the link. But I'm wondering, Poke hella hot. Have you, in fact, you know it? Okay. So now, question. Why have you not twisted my arms to force me to roll up against my will? Have you rolled up yet? Thank you. Finally. You know I need an excuse. I can't just justify a third one. Actually, four. Because I grabbed this shit from the smoke shop because I didn't want to wait until I got home. So before I went on live, ran to the smoke shop, grabbed everything I needed, rolling up real quick. And then since I've been home, I already rolled up two. So that's three already. This makes number four in a 2 hour period. So, in order to justify that, I need to feel forced. Pause. And I don't know, for some reason, Post Hella Hot, man, you wasn't trying to help me. Three Post Hella Hot. I wrote three. Two since I've been home. Three since I've been out of work. This makes number four. Were you even on the last stream? I can't remember. All right, let's get this roll. You know, I really should probably wait until Cam gets in the stream. Cause I know I'm gonna want to smoke another one once I see him smoking. I'm not going to. I'm just saying I should. I ordered something, but I ordered it on Friday, and it's usually 2 days. But I guess UPS weekend service ain't all that great. So now, even though I ordered on Friday, that shit ain't gonna get here until Tuesday. And I have very, very, very little left to last me until my care package arrives. And that sucks. Because ever since I found this new plug, it's so cheap that I just roll up whenever I feel like it, no hesitation. And I got so used to being able to do that right now, having to force myself to like conserve is foreign to me. I haven't had to do this in a while. I'm literally paying a quarter of what I was paying. So every time I order some, it's like buy one, get three free. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is insane. All right, people, we waiting on Cam, but we don't have to. If anybody out there has any questions or any statements to make and cares to set off the topic of the mental health epidemic we are experiencing currently in this country, feel free to drop it right there in the chat. Until then, Alyssa's here. Oh shit. Yo, that's crazy. Tamara wants to come on. All right, cool. I thought Tamara was on the fucking plane. All right, so I didn't have all messages enabled, and I missed a whole bunch of ish. We can wait for Ken. Yeah, you can poke hella hot, but there was like 14 people in the chat, and some of them were new people, and I was trying to grab some of their attention, so this way they would stick around. Yes, and people, and you show me. Oh, no, that wasn't the last stream. I'm talking about the one on my way home from work today, the 3 o'clock stream. I told you I keep them rolled to put in your box. I do, but then I smoke them. What I need to do is keep them rolled, put them in the box, pause, and then once the box is full, I need to just continue to roll them up one by one. So this way, the fucking the box stays full. I just got she just landed in for a load there. Oh, so send her the link then. And fucking so you saying she want to come on like instead of you? Because on the live it could only be one other person. So if y'all not together, it can only be one of you. Already spot. Oh, no pause. No pause on the full box. It depends on the situation. In this particular situation, yeah, pause. Bro, I went outside yesterday without shoes to fix an umbrella we have outside because it was windy, and my sister said, "You came inside." Yeah. 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 That that one is fucking great. Holy shit. Yo, you just made my whole fucking day with that one. Yo, you came to your side. So I got the parts for that. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, who got paused earlier? Hold on a second. Somebody got paused earlier, and I gotta tell you about it, and I can't remember. Hold on. I'm bugging. I could have swore somebody got paused earlier, but nah. What up, Mimi? Welcome back to the chat, young lady. Damn, I know I had a really good pause to tell you about, but I can't remember where it came from. Fuck, pause. Um, damn it. I just saw a message that from Kane that said, give me 10 minutes, I'm almost done. Um, you lucky that you were pausing that for another reason. Because that obviously that pause blankets the rest of it. But yo, that's crazy. Everybody fed and chilling till the sun goes down. Or going outside to play. That's what's up. Well, nah, you good because you already paused it, like without even realizing it. Cause you just put a pause at the end, so the pause just covers everything that went on during that whole statement. But sheesh, I just got a message from Kane. Who the fuck is from? That's a wild name. Who the fuck names their kid from? From, yeah, oh, that's his name. From. I just got a message. I just saw a message from Kane. Damn it, man. What was the crazy fucking pause, man? Oh, by the way, every day is Sunday. I keep forgetting to tell her. I keep forgetting to tell her that she earned her way onto the next pause compilation. I'm gonna tell her next time she's in the stream because it's hard to tell her on her stream because she gets all these fucking chats and shit, and then it's hard to explain to her like exactly what she's getting paused for. But Alyssa, would you like to see everyday Sunday's contribution to the or hear everybody Sundays everyday Sunday's contribution to the next pause compilation, the next episode of the pause compilation? Everybody is fat. I was pausing that. It's borderline. So I'll give you the context afterwards. I'd rather just give you the pause first. Every Sunday went like this. Yeah, that is big. On her fucking on her live stream. She did that shit. She was talking about a bar of soap. She had some big ass bar of soap, and like she was talking, showing it to the chat earlier, saying, "Oh, this fucking soap is huge, blah blah blah." And then I guess it was sitting in the soap dish. She was in the bathroom. She looked down at it. She's like, "Oh yeah, that is big." Hey, you know how the pause compilations go. I piece it together so it looks like, it's all one conversation being had between all these different people giving their perspective. So obviously I'm gonna match that up with something that suits it. But oh man, oh that's one thing I can't wait for you to go live, because now it's not gonna be a t-shirt. Now it's gonna be fucking pause compilation. I gotta see it now. It's crazy. Well, I can't show you on YouTube, Mimi. That would be a fucking community violation. That would violate YouTube community guidelines, young lady. Plus, this kid's watching. Believe me, I'm by no means shy, but that's too much to ask right now at this current moment. Oh shit! You've seen the last two editions of the Pause compilation, right? The third one is gonna be crazy, because the first one had all the best clips. The second one, I actually squeezed some edits in there, like some people, like, oh man, that was bad. Yo, Mark, what I say, better? Different kinds of people, basically, you know, reacting to pauses. But the clips weren't all that great. This time, I'm gonna have the best clips. I'm gonna make sure they're all excellent clips, and I'm going to, put in the in between cut scenes with the people calling pause. And you know what? That kind of ties right into today's topic, right? The mental health thing. I feel like if people could laugh a little bit more, right? And people could enjoy themselves a little bit more, people wouldn't be hurting so bad. It's like, how do you sit there laughing your ass off and not forget about your problems for a minute? Put the raw clips into pause. What you mean the raw clips? Yeah, that's wild. What do you even what does that even mean for real? For real, taking a moment to laugh. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But hold on, rewind though. Alyssa paused you, but I'm not quite sure that's even a pause. Like, what else could that mean? Like, what's the non-dirty meaning behind that? Put the raw clips in them too? That's crazy. Unless you're talking about like the end of a joint that was rolled up with a raw paper, is beyond me. Like what that could actually mean. Besides, let's take a few steps. Raw. What the fuck? We're waiting, folks. I'm gonna let you forget this. Rewind the raw intergalactic destroyer pause, and the dude was doing the rolling down. What? Dude, I'm lost. Mimi's roaring. Raw. That's how Mimi wakes up in the morning. My brother calling to grab his kid. That's crazy. Like he can't find his shoes. Wow. She wakes up. Me. Oh shit. Alyssa understands me. Alyssa gets it. Is that dinosaur thing my baby shows me? It's that dinosaur thing my baby shows me. That is indeed hilarious. Mimi, I feel like you've probably been informed at this point, but just in case you have not, are you aware that Alyssa has officially been deputized as a on pause patrol deputy? I'm a fall person, not ready for this. See, I can't stand fall. Fall and winter I hate, but probably especially fall because I remember when I lived in New York and the fall would come around, it'd be 50 degrees and I would have a whole fucking winter coat on and shit, right? But in the springtime it'd be 50 degrees and I would have shorts and a t-shirt. Poke my son and parents? That's crazy. Please don't poke her son and parents. Anybody? That is so wild. Or a happy birthday to everybody. Oh man. Mimi trying to make a love connection for her son and her parents on the stream. It's crazy. I can't believe Alyssa didn't chime in. Good. What good is having a pause patrol deputy if she's not even gonna pause patrol? Um, Poke's hella hot. He said 10 minutes. There we go. Alright, he talking shit. Yo, that's funny. What's it? A Poke was just asking about. She's like, "Where's Cam?" And I was just getting ready to talk shit, and I was like, "He said 10 minutes," and she came. She was, and right before, right when I was about to be like in color people time, that's 45. Motherfucker got to chime in. Run a 5K. What's good with you, brother? My Bluetooth. There we go. Now I can hear. You heard me?
Yeah, I heard you.
I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear nothing because I had my mic plugged in and my fucking and not my Bluetooth, so there was no fucking audio for me. Remember when Wendy was late, was praying for Cam? Wait, wait. I remember that Wendy late was praying for Cam because you said he sleeps in his car. Yo, Cam, that shit was fucking hilarious. Yo, she was like, "Where's that guy that's always in his car, bro?" I was like, you know he lives in that car, right?" Yo,
Wait,
she got so mad.
what happened? What she said?
She's like, "What happened to the guy? Where's the guy that's always in his car?" I'm like, "Well, you know he lives in that car, right?" And she felt so
You live in
fucking
a car.
well, but she's gullible. She's gullible, so she right away ate it up. She started praying for you and shit, and that's what I had to be like, "Well, Wendy, I'm just joking, bro. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Relax. He's okay." Oh, that shit was funny.
We
Yeah,
can
man.
get
So we talk, huh?
we can get Tamara on later on and do an episode with her about
All
mental
right.
health, and then
How
maybe
about
we can get her.
this?
Maybe we can get her to get into her story.
How about this? Why
You
don't
know, she
you
got that interesting story.
But hold on, that we could save that for another time though. You could send her Rochelle's episode, get her mad, and then have her respond. I think that would be a good first video for Tamara. And then,
Hey yo,
get into her story after. Like once she grabs people's attention with all that, then we go into who she is and all of that shit because people are gonna want to know. Like right
hmm
now, nobody don't give a fuck who she is. Like even though she got a fire story, no one's gonna fucking tune in past the first words to fucking see what that story is. But if we get some fucking cat fighting going on, motherfuckers will watch for the cat fighting and be like, "Yo, who is this bitch, man?" Wendy, oh shit, Wendy, we talked to up. Nah, Wendy, I was just talking about. Remember when you were asking about Cam and I told you that he lives in the car and you believed me?
Guys, crazy.
Yeah, man. So for me, what I was discussing before, man, I think it's a cluster of things, because before, you know, in the 80s and earlier, it wasn't like this. Even people that had any kind of
Ugh.
issues, they were just told to just man up and just, go to work. You know what I mean? And people just dealt with it because they weren't getting any help. They weren't getting any safe spaces. So it's like for the people that really need it, the availability of help is a good thing. But now for everybody else that really don't need it, but they use it as a crutch because now it's like, splinters, something to go to therapy about. It's like they have no strength.
Therapy it helps and it doesn't help. I mean, it all depends on the person and how bad their scenario is, and if
Mhm.
they're still stuck in that scenario, sometimes it affects them. And I'm saying that if they're detached from that scenario, then maybe the healing process can help or happen in a faster manner. You know what I'm saying, so that they could actually heal properly. But I mean, it's all situation basis. At the same time, though, every different situation has a different level to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's levels
Mhm.
there's level to mental health, and there's levels to mental health. What you call it? What would you say? There's levels to mental health abuse and levels to cure mental health. You know, there's ways of curing it and there's ways of doing other things.
Mhm. But with the
It's
therapy thing you were talking about though, I wasn't even talking
mhm,
about therapy. I mean, that you make a good point with that. But I wasn't even talking about like professional help. I was talking about just people in general. Whereas like now we have a culture of empathy. Like whenever somebody is crying about how life is hard for them, everybody wants to sit there and be like, yeah, nah, man, that sucks, man. That's a lot for someone to deal with. And instead of telling them, man up, get a job, and it's like back in the day, that's how it used to be. And that was my whole point. Is like, yeah, there's certain people that man up and get a job shit don't work for. And it's like, being
mhm.
kind to them or whatever, it's probably helpful to them. But that's a rare example. Most people need tough love. And there is no more tough love. Everything is accommodating to
That's
people,
that's
and the
not
more
true.
you accommodate,
Most people
nah.
don't need tough love. Is that yeah? Most people don't need tough love. Is that people are more emotional now because people are more intellectual. So because the times have changed as far as intellect is concerned, now you have people with more of a thought process than people that just react and just do things. So now that you have a people who react in a manner of thought and thinking, now that's when you're gonna have different outcomes now. So we're bound to be a little bit softer because now we're more intellectual as a society and as a what do you call it? I guess you call it a race. As a race of as humanity, we become softer because we become smarter. When you're
In
smarter, you
certain
don't
ways.
fight the same with rage. When you're smarter, you don't fight with rage.
Yeah, yeah, in certain
You
ways,
fight
but
with
I'm not even
intellect.
talking about with the fighting. No, I'm talking about just having thick skin. Like if you think about it like this, being smarter should give you thicker skin because you should have even more of an
Mm.
awareness that like nobody really thinks about you as much as you do. So nothing is really ever personal, you know? And but we always tend to take things personal and get all butthurt about it. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, people didn't do that shit. They just ignored people. The smarter you are, the more you should realize. Not, sticks and stones can break my bones, but names never hurt me. Don't let people what they have to say about you affect you to the
You said,
point where
but
you want to go
what could
end
ever
your
hurt you?
life. Names.
But what could names can never hurt you?
Yeah,
I thought
you
it
ain't
was
never heard that.
words.
Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words, names,
But
either one. I've heard it
no, it's
both
not the
ways,
same. No, it's
pause.
not the same. No, never heard
No,
it.
I'm not saying they mean the same thing. I'm saying that
It's
both sayings exist. Hold up, we got some chatting going on. Let's acknowledge the chat real quick. Run a 5K so y'all be manifesting motherfuckers up in here for real. And Pokes Hella Hot reminds me once again that it's Pause Awareness Month, and I've been slacking. Happy Pause Awareness Month.
I mean,
Let's
her her
celebrate men
her
and
whole
mental
name
health.
is pause. Her whole name is a pause.
Nah, that's just what I
You know what I'm
call it. Do you
saying?
know what her name? You know what her name really is? Do you see what her name really is?
No, I gotta look at it again.
Smokes
Imagine.
Helipot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Smoke Helipot. It's just the
And what? She
first
from
letters are
California,
switched.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, that would go good for somebody from California. Yo, it is freaking hot, man,
I
in New
wish
York.
they
New York
all
City
could
is like
be California girl.
New York City's like 80 something degrees, and it was like 40 something degrees the other day.
Yeah, that's
It's
wow.
ridiculous.
See, it's 80 something degrees here, but it's 80 something degrees every fucking day. Like you wake up used to it. You wake up in the morning, it's already hot. The only part of the year that I hate is like spring and fall when like the morning be like 60 and then it'd be 80 in the fucking afternoon. But that's only for a couple of weeks a
Yeah,
year. New York,
your body gotta adjust. That adjustment is
not
crazy.
not just adjusting. Remember how I get around. So it's like if I drove a car, bro, it'd be nothing. Like I would just wear my short sleeve shirt or whatever the fuck. 'Cause 60 degrees ain't that cold. So it's like, I could deal with the warmer weather clothes. So when it warms up in the afternoon, it is what it is. But on that bike, I gotta bundle the fuck up. And I don't always have room in my bag to put all that shit away in the afternoon. So now I gotta wear all the fucking clothes on the way home. That shit sucks.
Hmm.
She said
So
it's
what? Did you buy a car
87 and windy as fuck. 87 ain't bad if it's windy as fuck.
or that little bit of breeze is good?
Mhm. That's why every time I go to the beach, I won't go like in the water, but I'll go like ankle deep, like just enough, and I'll sit down in it so I can get wet. But I'm not trying to go like where the sharks can get to me. So
So you say
when it's
you're
really,
going just enough to get wet.
yeah, I ain't trying to fucking have the sharks getting me. Pause. What's it called? So
So you don't want the
now,
sharks to get you while you're going there while it's a little bit wet, just a little bit,
yeah.
just a little bit wet, just a
So
little bit, just a
so
little wet.
anyway, so I'll go there on a hot ass day, and then by the time I get to the beach, it's fucking cold because the beach got that wind. Jan Ruger, 87 is terribly hot here in South Africa. Are you serious? I thought it got hotter than that in South Africa. You don't think she means Celsius, do you? Everybody would be dead. So, Jan Ruger, what is the typical temperature in South Africa? What's the hottest, at, like normal temperature, not the hottest it's ever been, but what's the hottest that it'll be on a normal day, and what's the coldest that it'll be? She said, "Oh my word." Sound like one of them old 1960s Leave It to Beaver shows. My word. What happened to Cam? Alyssa, you still there? Or did your phone die again? I got a question. A question. I have a question for Alyssa. But Alyssa's like a cop, man. She's never around when you need her. Need her. Wendy! It's winter season at this moment in South Africa, Jen Ruger, right? I would imagine so. I would imagine it's fall, autumn, because it's spring over here. But that's just an assumption. It is possible that I could be wrong. Normal day is 77. It's heading into winter. It's about that is beautiful. See, over here, Jen. See where Pokes Hella Hot lives? At least it's dry heat. Where I live is fucking humid. And it's normal for it to be 90, 93. And I got spoiled in Colombia because over there it's like what you're describing. I'll wake up in the morning, it'd be like 60 degrees. I go out there on the balcony, have my coffee, smoke a joint, and then in the afternoon it would be like 75. Here comes Cam, ladies and gentlemen. Pause.
Shit is crazy, man. Yo, it's so hot out here. My phone got overheated.
Yeah, that happened to me yesterday. I had
I'm
to put it
like,
in the
what the
freezer.
fuck? I'm just sitting here looking like, wait, what? Like, hold on, the phone. Wait, I was sitting here for mad long, just saying like, yo, this guy's mad quiet. I'm looking up. I'm like, oh shit, the phone is off.
Oh shit. What you did? You put it in the freezer?
No, I'm in the car. I just
Oh,
put
put
it
it up against the
down.
AC?
Nah, I just moved it from where it was at. I had it in front, like right in the sun.
Oh, that it cooled down quick then. Normally it takes a while if you don't fucking do something to
Yeah, it's
cool
an
it down.
iPhone. Yeah, because the iPhone.
My
Superior
man
both.
said we don't ever got to worry about
Superior
dry heat in
technology.
South Florida. It be swamp ass weather down here. Facts.
All right.
Paulie, what's
Sure.
good, brother? Ere
Who's that?
uno policy.
Who that? Paulie that keep
Yo,
texting and keep
Paulie,
ignoring the text.
ah,
Paulie that keep texting and you keep ignoring his text.
ignoring his text. I don't even know your text too, motherfucker. I'm busy doing shit. What's it called?
Busy doing
Yo,
nothing.
Paulie, did you see the episode?
Busy doing nothing.
It's 80s and muggy right now. Oh yeah, Tampa's nasty weather. I heard about Tampa. But yo, that episode right now, it's still like it just got posted yesterday, so the views are low, but all the analytics are high. The average amount viewed is high. The fucking click through rating is through the roof. Like we're getting really good feedback on that fucking last episode. By the way, everybody, don't forget if you haven't already checked out the most recent episode of the Unk Podcast, guest starring Mr. R1 Paulie C himself. Definitely check that out. Talk about aliens and whatnot. Yeah, Tampa, tropical, brother, like Puerto Rico. I mean, shit, South Florida's tropical, but Tampa's like stagnant, bro. Like you don't have the ocean. That's why you on the Gulf, on the Bay, the Tampa Bay. Yeah, rain time when they releasing all the stuff. We was on top of that. Pause. Hell yeah.
Yeah, y'all was on
And you
top
see
of
the
it.
title? You see the title? I made the fire title and thumbnail for that shit too. Fucking Cam don't bother watching the episodes. That's how good they are. Cam don't even watch them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. So
Word, word, word. Bird's the word.
I'm hoping that shit does well. Yo, I hate when that shit happens. I'll be looking at the chat and there's no new messages, but all the text will like move
No new what?
messages, but the text will move like I got like someone else said something, and the movement will catch my eye, and I go to look,
Mm.
and it's the same message just sitting there. What's up? What's up? Ain't shit, same shit, really, man. Just got home from work, fucking waiting for Cam to fucking upload the rest of his damn footage from the last one we shot together, so I could edit that shit for next week. He needs some milk. Yeah, the New Yorkers are buying up houses. What's going on up there?
New York
Mandami,
is ridiculous.
the fucking mayor, bro. You didn't see the new commie mayor they got? New York is coming out with their own currency instead of in God we trust. It says Allahu Akbar on that shit, bro. That shit
The
is
mayor's
crazy.
office has a flag that says Allah Akbar.
Hey, with two swords on that shit. Nah, I know what's going on. I'm asking Cam. Oh yeah, he wants the ear to the street version. He's asking. He said he knows what's going on, but he's asking you. He wants to hear from you, like you know what I'm saying. Your version of events.
Of what? What's going on in Manhattan, in the city right now?
Yeah, New York in general. Why all the
Well, New
fucking
York is
why everybody
twisted. I
moving
mean,
out?
I live in Long Island. If just to give an update, I'm in Long Island, but glad that I'm in Long Island. A little bit of sense over here, even though they're a little bit too police friendly, but at least there's a little bit of sense over here, you know. But in New York, I mean, you got to think about it, right? They have cameras on the bus. They have bus lanes, right? They turned all of the, or not all of them. They turned, let's say, 40% of the roads traveled by the buses are now bus lanes. So what used to be a two-way or a two-lane road now is a one-lane road because now they have to accommodate for the buses, right? So now the buses now are equipped with cameras. So if you're in the bus lane, you get a $50 ticket that turns into $150 if you take too long to pay. Right. Then now, the better thing is that if you go into a store that's on the other side of the bus lane and you park there in the bus lane, you're getting a ticket. So you could be waiting for somebody to get out of their spot. The bus passes by, take a picture of you, and now you got a ticket. Even though you're really actually waiting for the person to come out of their spot to go into their spot. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way to park. There's nowhere for you to park and wait. You'd have to be in the bus lane to wait for the person to come out of their parking space to park. And then how about this even better? Some places the bus lane is right up next to the stores. So now if you go parked up in the bus lane, try to run into a store or something like that, you got a ticket. And this is mind you, hold on. This is the better thing. This is all to accommodate a group of people who don't pay car insurance, who don't pay taxes on their car, who pay less. So you're accommodating the people who pay less. So the people who pay less into these amenities, the roads, you know what I'm saying? Anything that has to do with the DOT, which is the Department of Transportation. So anything to do with the DOT will be paid for by people with car insurance and people that cross the bridges. Because people with cars are paying into the stock of transportation in New York City. You understand? Now, the people that are on buses don't pay into that because the bus fare is lower. One, two, the city doesn't pay for the same amenities as much, or their overhead is not the same. So the MTA is not a revenue bringing in the MTA is not bringing revenue because they subsidize it by having buses. The buses are a nonprofit. Having buses in New York City do not make profit. So it's an expenditure. So now the people who have cars who pay the most car insurance in the country, which is New York, pay for this, and they're getting gypped on their dollar equivalent. They're getting gypped on their dollar value, their value of their dollar. That's what's going on in New York City. And in New York City, everybody's praising them because they fixed the potholes. My man, they went into the budget and took money that they shouldn't have used to fix the potholes. Then they talk about they balanced the budget. How can you balance the budget when somebody gives you money? You didn't balance the budget then. The budget's still
And
fucked up.
guarantee they overpaid for those
Somebody just gave
potholes.
you some money. Oh, guarantee it. And then what I want to know is why is people from like Albany, Buffalo, Syracuse, why are they paying New York City's budget deficit? New York City has a $12 billion budget deficit. Kathy Hochul gave him 8 billion, then she just gave him 4 billion. Then he's like, I balanced the budget. You didn't balance the budget. She gave you money for free.
Yeah, that shit crazy. That shit is fucking crazy. You know what it is? They're trying to
Excuse
force
me.
everybody into public
So now
transportation. They want to stop private ownership of cars. Is what it is.
they want to make it correct. They want to make it a 15-minute city. That's what they want to make New York City, a 15-minute city where you can walk everywhere or a public transportation. They don't want you to go past, they don't want you to travel farther than you can walk or you can go into public transportation. They don't want you to be able to hear and understand what people in other parts of the country are going through so that only your issues matter and they can control you better.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new
Facts.
world order ploy. This is Agenda 2030. This is Operation Lockstep. This is Rockefeller Operation Lockstep Agenda 2030. What is the other UN resolution? What was that other UN resolution? Oh man, I forgot what it's called. Well, anyway, all of
I know
this
what you're
stuff
saying.
equates. Yeah, all of this stuff equates to you getting jerked by the politicians with your
Operation
own tax
Lockstep, you
money.
talking about?
Operation Lockstep is one of them. You also have a UN Agenda 2030. You
That
also
originally
have
was Agenda
there's the other ones,
21.
man.
Maybe you think the original name Agenda 21 that
Right,
turned
right.
into
That's
Agenda
what it was.
2030.
That's what it is. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what it is. It was Agenda 21 because it went operational. That's what COVID
No,
was.
it's just,
COVID was
yeah.
the Agenda
It,
21.
well, I think no, it was Agenda 21 since like fucking the 90s. Like that's Agenda 21, like 21st century. And then now when they honed in and decided
No,
that they
no,
want to
like
get all
no,
this
like
done
by
by 2030,
2021.
they changed it to 2030. Like it went from Agenda 21
No,
to
by
Agenda 2030.
2021. No, Agenda 21 is because by the year 2021 they should have had their objectives completed. Now it's Agenda 2030 because by the year 2030 they should have their objectives completed. They had to push back their timeline by 10 years
Yeah,
because of
but
people
that's
like
what I'm
Alex
saying. Like the
Jones
way I'm seeing it,
and the
the
internet.
way but the way I'm saying, they would have been like it would have just been Agenda 30, not Agenda 2030. That's what I'm saying. Agenda 21. And think about it, Agenda 21 been
I don't
around for a
understand.
long time. It's the same thing. It's not a
Yeah, but
different
Agenda
thing. They
21
just
is not
changed the
Agenda
name.
21. It's Agenda 2030. It's not Agenda 21. It's Agenda
Exactly.
2021.
That's what I mean.
It was actually
They
Agenda
changed it.
20. Hold no, slow down. No, that's not what you mean. No, 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 no. Stop, 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 stop. It was Agenda 20 because it's supposed to happen in 2020. Then they changed it to 21 because just to officialize it and make it actually this is the date. So 2021 because in 2020 they're gonna release their project. By 2020 they should have all their ducks in a row for them to release the project in 2021. 2030 is because the project is supposed to be complete by then, but it's not going to be complete. They're going to have to push back their agenda again because of people like Alex Joneses, because of the Tucker Carlsons, because of the internet period in general, and people talking online with their own opinions, going deeper
You know what's
into
fucked up?
discussion. And
So look at this. You know my twist on all of this shit, right? And as soon as they started talking about 2030, especially remember in like 2018 when they were like, "Oh, we have 12 years to to fix all this carbon shit, blah blah blah, or else it's gonna be too late." Remember all of that?
mhm.
As soon as they started talking about that shit, that was my thought. I believe all these motherfuckers are demons, not just the aliens, but the AOCs and the Elon Omars and all those fucking people. I believe they're all fucking demons, right? Um, and I think that's when they think Jesus is coming back in 2030. So they got to get everything in place before then, or else it's not gonna happen. That's my honest thoughts on that shit.
Okay, so here's okay to go with your conspiracy theory that the leaders
My
of the world are
conspiracy
actual
theory,
demons.
not the leaders of the world,
It is a
certain
conspiracy
people like
theory.
AOC and fucking and Elon, just the sick, demented ones, the people that say shit that you can't make up.
Okay. So, all right. So these nondescript people who just started to get power and started to doing things in their lives of official effectiveness, right? Those people being demons. Let's address that scenario, or let's damn, because I want to agree with you, but I don't want to agree with you because I feel like as though you're stretching it, but you're on to the right direction. So reason why I say you're onto the right direction and why I say stretching is because I believe that these people are not demons per se, but they're possessed per se by entities and not
Well,
necessarily
that's what I
those
meant.
specific ones that you talked about. But okay, well, not the ones that you specifically were talking about,
Oh,
but other nefarious actors within the world political spectrum are definitely showing signs of irregular and irrational human behavior. Now, we can go on now to say things like Jimmy, what's that guy from England? Jimmy
Seville.
Seville. Guys like that. Yeah, those
Mhm.
people are or the George Soroses. You know what I'm saying? These people maybe we could say are possessed or like a Whoopi Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? Or not just Whoopi. Whoopi's just paid. Let's go with Joan Bainhart. That's a demon. That's somebody who knows that they're wrong, and even though they're getting paid, even though some of the other people on even though people around will disagree with them and tell them that that doesn't make sense, they still are gonna go with the radical, weirdest things to say. All right, so let's go
Mhm.
into this demon thing, right? Or let's go
But
into
the
my belief.
politicians, real quick, just to add, the politicians though that I'm talking about are the ones that are like them specifically, not a lot of them, but I'm saying the two I mentioned, plus like what's that dude's name? Eric Swalwell. You know, like very specific people, not just every fucking politician.
Yeah, but why would they be? Why would Eric Swalwell be a demon? Exactly. What did he do that takes power from other people that makes him a demon?
I'm talking about like just like the way that he's always just for the wrong thing. Like whatever's wrong, he's always just standing up for it. Like it gets very defensive anytime somebody goes against anything. That's his mo. That's how he's always been. Meanwhile, he was fucking that Chinese spy the
All
whole
right.
time.
Yeah, I know, but that what does that have to do with demons and alien? I mean, and angels and positive energy and negative energy? I'm just trying to figure out where you're correlating his bad decision
Well,
making,
it's just
it's clear.
people
Hold
like
on, which
him
is
are
clear.
instrumental in the corruption of the people. He's all and like Chuck Schumer. That's a great example. Chuck Schumer. Like, did you see how like his reaction when Roe versus Wade got shut
Chuck
down?
Schumer is just Chuck Schumer is just a politician. He's a career politician, and he's from New York, and he has to sway people whose best interest it is to go against the things that he's doing. He has to sway them to not only support him, but they've been supporting him for 50 something years. So you got to understand that Chuck Schumer, who's a high level Jew, is in New York City going against the Jewish uh, community's interests, literally going against it. So, I mean, I wouldn't say he's a demon per se, but I would say people like him are more influenced by money, power, especially a Chuck Schumer. Definitely money and power. Or I wouldn't even say money. I would just say power. Chuck Schumer, power. He's one of those power guys. Now, there's different levels because some people want power and some people just want fame, and some people are actually into and believe in the agenda. Now, the people that actually believe in the agenda, you can't. Those are the people you could call demons because they believe in the oppression of humanity. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're demons per se, but I would say that some of them can be possessed when they say things that are unorthodox, and a possession can happen and go away. So people think like, oh, this person is possessed, or you say that this person. That doesn't mean that they're possessed all the time. That doesn't mean they're not themselves at some point in time throughout your encounter with
Oh
them.
yeah, yeah.
Now, now, what I
People say
believe
that
is this.
Beyonce. Remember that shit Beyonce was saying that when she goes to sing, this fucking
Nah.
shit takes over and she just blanks out.
Oh, it takes over her. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, that would make sense, right? If she was doing things like a Marilyn Manson or something, and then I'd be like, okay, yeah, she's possessed. But for her to be like, I mean, look at her music. Her music is not that type of music. Now her symbolism in her performances that shows influence by an outside force. I'm not talking about an entity. I'm talking about human force.
But you gotta remember too,
That's
though,
why there's so much
the way that
symbolism.
But remember what the Bible said though, like the way this demon thing, it all comes from my understanding of the Bible. It's that the demon doesn't necessarily have to be on some Marilyn Manson shit. Like the people don't have to be like the what do they say? Satan transforms himself into an angel of light. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the only thing that the devil and the demons got to do to take a soul to hell is get them to deny Christ and not follow the path of Christ. So it's like, in any way
So
they can
if you
get
take the
people to
Bible literally,
idolize somebody, so it's idol
so
worship.
if you
Like at the
take
end of the day,
the but anybody can idol worship if you're watching sports and you're like, oh, that guy is or that girl is a very good athlete. That's idol worship at the same time too. So now you're taking the Bible and taking it literally, and when you take the Bible literally, then you have to explain now all the other stuff that's in the Bible that's not literally based on opinion or opinions that are not. Let me rephrase that. Things that are written in the Bible that people take it as an opinion instead of literal. So now you got to get into the realm of people picking and choosing what in the Bible is literal and what they assume is opinion just to fit their agenda.
well, that's what I'm saying. You can't do that shit. You got to treat it like any other conversation. When somebody's being literal or when someone's being figurative, it's evident in the speech.
Okay, so now you're saying that you're supposed to mind read the people who wrote the Bible and say,
No,
oh,
it's
it's
not
evident
mind
that
read it.
right
Like,
here is an opinion and right here is literal.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like if I'm giving my opinion or if I'm making an exaggeration to make a fact. Like if I tell you, oh shit, oh man, I'm gonna be like an hour late. You know, it, it-
When you
it's
write
not.
out in paper on paper a joke.
It's not about jokes. It's about like when Jesus said it's
Mm.
harder for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. Obviously, that's not literal because that like there's
But it
rich
can
men
be.
that the Bible said, but, but the Bible says there's rich Solomon's in heaven according to the Bible, and he was rich. So obviously,
Mhm.
it's possible for a rich man to get into
All
heaven, but
right,
it's not
now,
possible
hold
for a
on, slow
camel to
down.
pass
See,
through the eye of a needle.
so that's a literal statement then. So when do you see this the Bible in a metaphoric statement exactly? They're telling you literally
How is
that
it
this is
literal?
what
How is
cannot
it
happen.
literal if you're comparing one thing that's possible, with one thing that's not?
They're literally telling you this is so hard that this can't even happen. That's what they're doing. They're telling you. It's telling you
But
literal. It's not saying it's up to your interpretation
but it's happened. The Bible also said that there are rich men in heaven. So how does that work?
because it's literal. Rich men can be in heaven even if this. It's a literal statement. You taking it in metaphoric
The
forminology because you want
statement
to turn it into
said.
your
The
fucking
statement
your thoughts
said.
into
The
what you
statement
feel.
says you're bugging right now. The statement is it's harder
Okay, go on.
for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for a camel to pass
Mhm.
through the eye of a needle. If that was literal, then that would mean that it's impossible for a rich man to get into heaven. But we all know that's not the case. Oh, back to the chat though,
How do
real
you
quick.
know
Wendy said,
how hard? Hold up. How hard do you know it is to get into heaven? Then how do you know? You've been there.
it, it's no, it's simple logic. Solomon, the Bible says that Solomon
Oh,
was the richest man that ever lived. The Bible also says that Solomon is in heaven, right? So now that tells you that there is at least one rich man in heaven, meaning that it is possible to go to heaven as a rich man. We all know that it is not possible for a camel to literally pass through the eye of a needle. So if somebody's saying that it's harder for a rich man to get into heaven than it is to do this thing that's not possible, and we all know that there is at least one rich man in heaven, then clearly that's not a literal statement. Doesn't take a lot.
Mm. So when they say things that landed, right, or came down with fire under it, what is that? Is that a
When they say
metaphor as
what?
well? When they say that things came down with literal fire under it, is that as well as metaphor?
Or what's the exact wording? What's the verse? What's the book? What are you talking about? Something in
Okay.
Revelations?
How about in the whole book of Enoch and the whole book of Revelations, you can explain what they're talking about?
Yeah, because right there, then it's somebody trying to describe something that's going to take place in the future with technology that they've never seen before, and they have to describe it using words that existed in that time. So of course, it's going to be tough to try to figure out what they're talking about. But there you go.
Mm.
That's things that you got to figure out. It's like they're not exaggerating. They're not speaking metaphorically. They're describing. I had a vision and they're describing the vision the best way they can with the words that were available in that time period. But it's a vision of the future. So obviously there's certain things that they don't have words for.
And but it's a literal statement though of what they actually see.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That particular statement is literal, and the evidence shows that because of what we just discussed. They're describing their vision.
So basically, you're
So
saying that you are gonna interpretate what they're saying and figure out what they're saying in the Bible instead of reading it and actually knowing. This is my
no,
problem
you
with the
read
Bible.
it,
This is my problem with people that read the Bible.
you read it, and you use the Bible itself and the context to decide whether a statement is figurative, literal, prophecy, or otherwise. It's not that every single
So,
statement in the Bible is
who
going to be
is the
literal.
bearer
Not every
of?
single.
Mhm, mhm. So, a statement in the Bible can mean two different things for two different people.
Well, no, it means one thing. Two people, both people might have it wrong, but it means one thing. If you figure it out, if you get it wrong, that's what I mean. That doesn't change the meaning of what the book says. Like I said, it's a really big book. you know, Not
Mhm.
every single statement. And then there's a lot of other things too that is tough that you got to go into and like look at the cultural significance and the translations and all of that. Like when Mary was asking Jesus for help at the party because the people ran out of wine or whatever, he was like, "Woman, what does that have to do with me?" That sounds wild disrespectful in our culture, but that statement wasn't a disrespectful statement. What do you think about the book of Nostradamus? I mean, those a lot of that was so vague. There's a couple that were really like, wow, but for the most part, those prophecies were so vague that you could make them fit whatever you want. It's like horoscopes. If you look at any horoscope and you really want it to fit your personality, you can make it fit your personality. Like people look at their own horoscope and go, "Oh, see, that's me. I'm an Aquarius because of blah, 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 blah." Go look at any of the other ones. I guarantee you can manipulate that shit to sound like you too.
The same way people read the Bible. Same thing when people read all these religious books. It's the same exact thing. Same exact thing. People are taking something that people, that's what it is. People take it to something that's beyond their understanding and try to make an understanding out of it in modern human cultural uh, 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 correlation. They try to correlate it with modern human spectrum of living.
It's one difference though. The Bible itself, right, was given to us by God. Jesus co-signed the Old Testament.
What the
The New
fuck is
Testament
she
was
doing?
all about him. Who?
Nah, this lady here, I don't know what the fuck that was. She just like poured food on the floor. I guess she's feeding some shit. But there's a house here, and she, yeah, that was weird. I don't understand that. All right, fuck it. I might as well show you guys.
What's up with
All
Tamara?
right, so right there in the corner there, you can see there's like some food or some debris right there. She just stuffed food
Yeah.
into that little hole right there, but I'm trying to figure out what she was feeding and who she was.
Oh, that's crazy. It's probably drugs.
I mean, it was an old lady, like right there at the pole. You see that you could clearly see that there's something in there that she put right there.
Can't
I
sleep.
mean, like
Can't
there's
sleep on
something there.
nobody. That's a fact. My grandson about to come pick that shit up. Watch.
She had a bowl. She had a bowl. She came with a spoon and was scooping it out. That's why you see I went kind of like silent on you because I kind of like lost my train of thought. 'Cause I'm looking like, what the fuck is she doing? I'm like, what the hell is that?
Oh man.
This is why I don't like
Look
coming
at
on
you.
here and be driving while I'm coming on here because weird shit happens around me and I can't concentrate. Like she'll throw me my whole train of thought off.
That's all good. No, no,
To understand that a lot of books, a lot of especially older books that were written in ancient times, we have to understand that there's a language dialect and there's an understanding of words and language that is different from then to now. And a lot of words mean different things that back then the meaning was totally different, you know? So I'm just saying.
yo, what's it called? I want to get something to eat real quick. Why don't you holler at Tamara and see if she's down for the episode?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hold on. What do you think about people who tries to write these books into today's statements?
That's what he just
Oh,
tried to do with the Bible. That's what we were debating, or at least going back and forth about. Not really debating. It was never really a debate. I just stopped talking. But that's what a lot of people try to do as far as they read something that's an ancient text and they try to put it into modern logic. And modern day logic is not what they were writing back then. And back then they were more literal and more direct. There was no beating around the bush with most of their statements and their their um their actions. Most of their statements and actions were literal.
yeah, that's true.
You know, it's so freaking hot out here. It's so hot. Shit is crazy.
Mm, mm. All right, peoples. Thank you for joining us once again on another live stream from the Unk Podcast at Let Unk Tell It. We will see you same place, different time. Later on.